Hey there, if you are watching this, take a moment. Like this video. Subscribe to our channel. Where are you right now? What year is it for you? Now, shift your focus. The year is 1347. You stand on sun-baked earth, deep in Cairo. Hot air hits your face, thick with the scent of cumin, cinnamon, and human toil. The alley narrows, packed with merchants and buyers. A donkey cart clatters past, its wheels kicking up dust. You hear shouts, laughter, the rhythmic tapping of a coppersmith. The sun beats down, a relentless force warming your skin through your robes. You push through the crowd. Faces around you are earnest, haggling over silks and spices. You hear snippets of Arabic, a language rich with history and trade. Your eyes drift to a small, unassuming stall tucked between piles of dyed wool and fragrant oils. A man sits cross-legged, his hands moving with practiced ease. This is your destination. He works with a dark, sticky substance. It is hashish, known here by many names. You hear whispers from passers-by calling it the shrub of emotion, or peace of mind. The merchant pinches off a piece. He rolls it, pressing it into a small ball. Other pieces lie flattened, baked into pastes. Some are mixed with sugar and sesame seeds, ready to be chewed. You watch as a customer reaches for one of these sweet, dark mixtures. He pops it into his mouth, chewing slowly. A subtle shift appears on his face, a softening around his eyes. You step closer. The air near the stall carries a faint, earthy sweetness. The merchant looks up, a silent question in his gaze. You watch others. Some chew their sugary hashish with a quiet intensity. Others hold small pills, waiting for the feeling to settle. This plant, cannabis, has been known for millennia. Here in medieval Egypt, its use is widespread. Many seek a simple pleasure. Others seek a different kind of calm. Religious scholars debate its place, but the demand endures. You feel the warmth of the sun on your neck. The sounds of the bazaar continue, a constant hum of life. You consider the small, dark mixture. A moment of quiet anticipation fills the air. The human desire to alter perception, to find a different peace, spans centuries. This craving holds a place in many cultures, a silent practice found amidst the bustle of daily life. The feeling lingers, a sense of shared humanity across the years. The evening air cools your skin. The clamor of the bazaar lessens, replaced by distant calls and shuffling footsteps. You move from the open market into narrower, darker alleys. A different atmosphere settles here. The ease of the daylight stalls fades. A quiet tension grips the air. You walk past stone walls, their surfaces still holding the day's heat. Guards patrol the main thoroughfares. Their torchlight sweeps across darkened doorways. People quickly pull back into the shadows. An edict echoes from the city's heart. Religious leaders and social circles weigh in. They debate the substance, deeming it forbidden. This hashish, openly sold hours ago, now lives in the realm of secrets. You see a man's swift movement. He tucks a small parcel deep into his robe. Another person glances at you, then quickly averts their gaze. Their hand rests protectively on a pouch. The whispered conversations grow hushed. Rules are spoken, but actions persist. The substance is used widely, even with official disapproval. This creates a strange contradiction. Despite the prohibitions, the human desire remains. Some seek simple enjoyment. Others search for something deeper. You follow a path to quieter courtyards. Here, away from the watchful eyes of patrols, some groups gather. These are Sufi mystics. For them, hashish serves a different purpose. It helps their religious journey. You sense the hushed reverence, an unspoken understanding in these hidden spaces. The air here feels charged with spiritual intent. The official face of Cairo presents strict adherence. Its shadows hold acts of quiet resilience. You feel the duality. the quest for altered states and the warnings against them. This push and pull defines moments here. The human spirit finds its own ways, despite rules imposed by society and time. The air thickens with a sweet, resinous scent. It mixes with frankincense, a familiar aroma of prayer. A low drumbeat pulses, a steady rhythm that vibrates through the packed earth floor and up into your feet. You stand in a secluded room, its stone walls bare. Flickering oil lamps cast long, dancing shadows. The faint smell of stale incense hangs here, a testament to countless past rituals. Sounds of Cairo's distant night fade to a hum, a forgotten world beyond this space. Around you, men sit in a tight circle on worn woven mats. Their simple robes are rough against the stone. Their bodies sway, synchronized with the deep thrum of a hand drum and a low, guttural chant. Each movement seems deliberate, part of a larger, unbroken flow. Their faces, etched with devotion, hold a focused intensity. These are Sufis, seekers of spiritual closeness. Their path often involves deep contemplation, rigorous discipline, and a quest for inner truth. Tonight, their journey takes another turn, a more direct path to altered states. In the circle's heart, a small, clay brazier glows with embers. Wisps of smoke rise steadily, carrying a distinct, earthy, sweet aroma. It is hashish, the same substance seen in the bustling bazaar. Here, its purpose changes dramatically. It sheds its recreational guise. It becomes an instrument for their spiritual journey, a bridge to transcendence. You feel the radiating heat from the brazier, a steady pulse against your shins, a grounding force amid the rising smoke. You watch a man lean forward, his eyes half closed, his breath slow and even. He inhales deeply from the rising smoke. His shoulders lift with the intake of breath, then slowly fall. He holds it, still, for a long moment. Then, he exhales a slow, soft plume into the quiet air. His voice, once a quiet murmur, finds new resonance in the collective chant, joining the chorus with renewed vigor. A subtle shift appears in his posture, a gentle relaxation, a yielding. Another man takes his turn, then another. The smoke fills the space, a tangible presence. The drum quickens its beat. The rhythm becomes more insistent, a heartbeat pushing the gathering forward. The chanting swells, a rising wave of sound that washes over you. Your own body responds, a subtle, involuntary pull to the rhythm. You watch faces soften, expressions shift from worldly tension to serene calm. The rigid lines of daily worry smooth away. A shared sense of peace settles over the group, a quiet joy. The smoke, the sound, the collective focus, all intertwine. They work together. Their aim? To move beyond ordinary awareness, beyond the self. They seek a heightened experience, a connection to the divine. This is a path to vision, to personal inner encounter. You feel the warmth from the brazier on your face. The subtle tickle of smoke enters your nostrils. This is a deliberate, ritualized act, far removed from casual consumption. It stands apart from the prohibitions outside these walls. For these individuals, hashish serves a sacred purpose. It offers a path to vision, to a personal spiritual experience, a means to touch the unseen. The intensity builds further, a slow burning ember of devotion. The chanting softens to a collective murmur, a hushed prayer. Then it rises again, a rhythmic swell, stronger than before. You sense the internal journey each person undertakes, a profound, internal flight. It is fueled by deep intention, by the shared ritual, and by the substance itself. This practice reflects a profound human longing. A longing for transcendence, for a connection beyond daily life, for a deeper understanding. It crosses all societal lines, all time. It finds its expression in the quiet dedication of these men, seeking solace and insight in the shadows, year after year. The last note of the drum fades, a soft vibration in the cool air. A profound stillness settles, thick and heavy. The sweet scent of spent hashish smoke mingles with frankincense, clinging to your robes, to the rough stone walls. You feel the residue of intense rhythm, a quiet thrumming beneath your skin. The oil lamps flicker, their flames seeming smaller now, more subdued. The men in the circle shift, their swaying movements slowing to a gentle rock. Their chants quiet to soft murmurs, then to silence. Their eyes, once wide and unfocused in the ritual's peak, now hold a distant, inward gaze. A quiet calm envelops them, a profound peace. You see expressions of serenity, a gentle ease around their features. Each person seems to carry an invisible weight, yet also a lightness. This is a journey completed, a moment of profound personal experience. For them, this is more than simple intoxication. This is a means to spiritual insight. This substance, hashish, becomes a key. It offers a path to connect with the divine. You feel a sense of reverence in the room, a sacred space carved out from the mundane world. Their devotion fills the silence, a quiet strength. The air itself feels different, cleansed by their shared intention. But outside these secluded walls, the city still hums. Its judgments stand. Religious decrees prohibit the very substance these men have used for spiritual awakening. What is sacred here, inside this circle, is profane outside. You sense the tension of this divide. The risk they take for their faith is real. A whisper of doubt might cross some minds. Was the vision true? Was the feeling genuine? Or was it simply the effect of the smoke? Such questions are the burden of the seeker. They live with this duality. They carry their private experience into a world that misunderstands it. You feel the coolness of the stone floor beneath your feet. The human quest for meaning persists through time, through all prohibitions. People find their own paths to connect, to understand, to endure. Some seek inner quiet. Others chase ecstatic vision. This enduring human need shapes lives, quietly, resiliently, generation after generation. A chill bites at your skin, the dampness of ancient stone seeping into your bones. The air carries the faint, dry scent of parchment and old beeswax. A single tallow candle casts a shaky, golden pool of light, making the shadows in the small cell stretch and dance. You hear only the distant drone of monastic chants, a low hum that barely penetrates these thick walls. A rough-spun tunic chafes against your arm. Your breath plumes faintly in the cold. You watch the monk. His face is pale, his eyes fixed on a small clay bowl. Inside, a dark liquid steams gently. It holds the bitter smell of boiled roots and dried leaves, a potion prepared from the monastery's herb garden. He stirs it with a crude wooden spoon, his movements slow, deliberate. The culture around herbs and apothecaries is a secret world within these walls. Many plants serve healing. Some serve other purposes. He lifts the bowl to his lips. You hear the small gulp as he swallows the decoction. A grimace crosses his face. The taste is profoundly bitter, a sharp sting on the tongue, then a lingering earthiness. He sets the bowl down, his hands trembling slightly. Then he waits. He sits on a hard stool, his posture rigid. His gaze remains fixed on the candle flame. The light wavers, elongating, twisting. A subtle shift begins. The lines of the stone wall seem to soften, to breathe. The shadows deepen, taking on unexpected forms. You feel a lightness in your own head, a faint hum behind your eyes. The monk's breathing deepens, becomes more deliberate. His focus intensifies. He seeks something beyond the normal senses. He searches for visions, for spiritual awakenings. This is his way to pierce the veil, to gain insight. The candle flame now flickers with exaggerated movements, painting swirling patterns on the rough plaster. Shapes begin to form in the cell's corners. Figures, indistinct at first, then coalesce into fleeting images. Perhaps ancient saints. Perhaps angels. Maybe abstract patterns of light and color. They move with an ethereal grace, silent, captivating. He sees them, senses them. His eyelids flutter, but he keeps his gaze steady. He holds onto this altered state. His world has shrunk to this small cell, this wavering light, these unfolding perceptions. The chill of the stone, the bitter taste, the hum in his mind are the only realities. This experience is personal, hidden. These visions offer a momentary escape from the rigid monastic life. They offer a direct path to the sacred. The human spirit, even in the most disciplined of lives, often seeks such transcendence. This yearning for deeper understanding pushes individuals to explore the edges of perception, year after year, in quiet devotion. The dry, cool air of the scriptorium greets you. The scent of old parchment and beeswax is heavy here, mingling with the faint smell of fresh ink. A hushed quiet settles, broken only by the soft scratch of quills on vellum. You feel the dull ache in your back from hours spent bent over texts, a familiar discomfort. The lingering warmth from the decoction still resides within you, a subtle hum beneath the surface of your skin. You sit on a hard bench, surrounded by other monks. Each one is absorbed in their work. Their focused faces show no hint of suspicion, yet a tension hums in the air around you. Your fingers trace the lines of a text by Pliny the Elder. He speaks of cannabis, noting its uses for fiber. He mentions its medicinal properties, like easing arthritis. Another ancient author, Galen, describes seed cakes. He notes they bring warmth, a mild psychoactive effect if consumed in large amounts. These texts offer a kind of shield, a justification. The monastery's apothecary section holds many such plants. They are for healing, for poultices and decoctions for pain and inflammation. Your own purpose, however, extends beyond simple physical relief. The visions from your cell still flash in your mind's eye. The swirling patterns, the fleeting figures, the sense of profound insight. You recall the bitter taste, the steady burn. These experiences feel sacred, direct communications from a realm beyond the ordinary. Yet, the fear of judgment is a cold knot in your stomach. Such visions, induced by herbs, could be seen as dangerous. They could be labeled as heresy. They could lead to accusations, to isolation, even worse. You glance at the monk across the table. His brow is furrowed in concentration. He copies scripture, his movements precise and unthinking. You wonder what he would think, what the abbot would say, if they knew your true intent. The psychoactive effects of certain herbs are often ignored in medical texts, or downplayed. They focus only on the physical healing. This unspoken understanding creates a fragile balance. You are a healer, yes, but also a seeker. The quill in your hand feels heavy. You dip it into the inkwell, the black liquid a stark contrast to the pale parchment. You begin to write, carefully forming each letter. Your words focus on the medicinal properties of hemp, its fiber, its pain-relieving uses. You choose your words with precision, masking the deeper, personal journey. You hide your true revelations. The human spirit seeks connection, seeks meaning, even at great personal risk. It navigates the boundaries between accepted knowledge and forbidden truth. This quiet struggle defines your path, here, in the heart of the medieval world. The air in the apothecary's shop bites your nostrils. A sharp mix of dried rue, pungent thyme, and sweet lavender hangs heavy. Dust motes dance in the sliver of sunlight piercing the small, high window. The rhythmic scrape of a stone pestle against a ceramic mortar fills the small room. You feel the faint vibration in the wooden floorboards. You see the apothecary. He is an old man, his face a map of wrinkles, his hands strong and calloused from years of grinding. His eyes hold a quiet knowing, a deep understanding of plants and their secrets. He leans over his scarred wooden counter, surrounded by rows of glass jars and tightly bound bundles of dried herbs. Each jar holds a specific remedy, roots, powders, their labels handwritten in careful script. He works with purpose, his movements precise and practiced. He prepares a remedy for a woman who waits patiently, her hand pressed to her temple. She seeks comfort from a persistent ache. He reaches for a bundle of dried hemp, its stalks brittle, its leaves rustling softly. This plant, cannabis, serves a practical purpose here. It is not for ritual. It is not for spiritual journey. It is a common medicine. He measures a portion, placing it into the mortar. He grinds the leaves, a steady, circular motion, until a fine powder forms. Then he adds a measured amount of warm water, working it into a thick, green paste. This poultice treats pain. It eases inflammation. You recall the ancient texts. Pliny the Elder wrote of its cultivation for fiber. He also noted its medicinal value, its ability to treat arthritis, to soothe aching joints. Galen, another classical authority, described seed cakes made from hemp. He mentioned they bring a sensation of warmth, a mild psychoactive effect if consumed in large amounts. Here, in this shop, that larger effect is secondary. It is a footnote. The immediate need for relief, for physical ease, holds the apothecary's full attention. This is his craft. This is his focus. He spreads the paste onto a clean linen cloth. He folds it carefully. He hands it to the waiting woman. Her fingers tremble slightly as she takes it. The mortar waits, ready for its next task. The lingering scent of herbs reminds you of the deep, constant human need for comfort. It is a quest for ease, for healing, that stretches across every corner of the medieval world, a quiet act of resilience. The heavy scent of sweat and the sharp tang of sickness fill the small room. A low groan escapes the woman on the straw pallet. Her body tenses, then relaxes, then tenses again with a painful rhythm. You stand in the dim light of a single flickering lamp. The air feels heavy, stifling. Each of her breaths catches a harsh sound in the quiet space. The midwife moves with quiet purpose. Her hands are practiced, firm. She carries a small, wooden bowl. Inside, a thick, dark green paste waits. The aroma of dried hemp, subtle yet distinct, rises from it. This plant, known across lands and centuries, holds a different role here. It is a remedy, a source of solace. It offers physical relief. She approaches the pallet. Her eyes, shadowed by age and knowing, meet the laboring woman's gaze. A shared understanding passes between them. This is the reality of medieval childbirth. There is no escape from the raw experience of pain. There are only small mercies, small ways to ease the immense struggle. The midwife dips her fingers into the balm. She applies the cool, damp paste gently to the woman's abdomen. She spreads it over the taut skin, rubbing it in with slow, circular motions. You see the woman's eyes close, a soft sigh escaping her lips. The herbal warmth begins to seep in. It offers a subtle counterpoint to the deep, muscular spasms. This is not unconsciousness. This is not the complete absence of pain. It is an easing. It is a moment of lessened intensity. The hemp poultice works to soothe inflammation. It acts to dull the sharp edges of agony. The ancients knew of its properties. Pliny the Elder noted its medicinal uses. Galen described similar effects from seed cakes. For centuries, people sought ways to manage suffering. They found solutions in the earth's bounty. The woman shifts. Her groans become softer, less frequent. Her face still shows the deep struggle, but a thin veil of calm now rests upon it. The midwife watches, her expression steady. She knows the limits of her remedies. She knows the strength required of the woman. This quiet, enduring practice, the offering of small comfort, defines the human struggle against pain. It is a testament to resilience, a constant, personal battle across all time. The cold, damp earth presses against your boots. The scent of wet leaves and rich soil fills your nostrils. Moonlight struggles to pierce the thick canopy of trees, casting the copse in shifting shades of gray and black. A twig snaps somewhere nearby, a sound that makes your skin prickle. You stand with a small group of others, all huddled close. Whispers, hushed and nervous, pass between them. You feel the keen night air on your face, a stark contrast to the warmth of your beating heart. You watch an older woman. Her face is etched with lines, her eyes sharp. She kneels by a patch of moss. Her fingers, nimble and knowing, pluck small, dull-capped mushrooms from the ground. Their pale, unremarkable appearance belies their hidden power. These are not common edibles. These are for a different purpose, a secretive ritual. Folk traditions speak of them. Ancient practices used them for spiritual journeys. But the wider world, the church, fears them. They link them to superstition, to witchcraft, to dark magic. The woman gathers a handful, then offers one to you. Its stem is cool, its cap slightly moist. The faint, earthy smell of its flesh rises to you. You hesitate for a moment. The fear of discovery, of accusation, is a cold hand on your shoulder. But curiosity, an ancient human impulse, pushes you forward. You take the mushroom. You lift it to your mouth. The taste is bitter, acrid, a woody dampness that makes you grimace. You chew it quickly, forcing it down. Others do the same, their faces showing similar reactions. Now, you wait. The darkness around you seems to grow denser. The rustling of leaves in the breeze sounds louder, closer, like whispers circling your ears. A nervous tremor runs through one of the younger initiates. A low, panicked giggle escapes him. It quickly becomes infectious, spreading through the small gathering. Laughter, sharp and unsettling, bubbles up, then dies down, only to rise again. It is not joyous. It is edged with unease, with a strange, giddy terror. Your own body begins to feel strange. A warmth spreads through your limbs. Your perception of the copse shifts. The trees seem to sway more dramatically. The shadows twist into fleeting, unfamiliar shapes. The air itself vibrates with a newfound intensity. The mundane world begins to recede. A sense of disorienting wonder settles over you. You are no longer fully grounded. The edges of your vision blur. The low, panicked laughter echoes, a testament to shared disorientation. This clandestine gathering, fueled by the Earth's secret bounty, offers a glimpse into a world beyond ordinary perception. It is a world sought for ecstasy, for healing, even for magic. This ancient human desire to alter consciousness, to experience something beyond the everyday, burns bright, even in the medieval night, even under the shadow of fear and accusation. The harsh glare of flickering torches sears your eyes, a brutal shock after the soft darkness of the copse. The acrid smell of burning pitch fills your lungs, mixing with the damp earth and a metallic tang of fear. Rough hands seize your arm, pulling you forward. The low, panicked laughter from minutes ago is gone, replaced by a cold dread that tightens your chest. You are no longer hidden. The shadows of the forest floor, where you sought strange visions, now feel miles away. A crowd presses in around you. Their faces, illuminated by the unsteady torchlight, are hard, suspicious, and full of accusation. Their eyes bore into you, into your companions. You see fear mirrored in the faces of those standing with you, the same fear that grips your own heart. Your skin crawls under their collective gaze. They shout words you know too well. Whispers of sorcery, of dark deeds, of dealings with spirits. These are the same words used to condemn others, to brand them as witches. The small, unassuming mushrooms, ingested in secrecy for spiritual insight, are now the dangerous proof. Medieval folk traditions speak of such substances. They speak of their ability to alter perception. But the wider world dismisses these practices. It condemns them. It fears what it does not understand. You feel the ground beneath your feet. It is uneven, unforgiving. The light from the torches dances, making the faces in the crowd seem to shift and distort. Your mind, still faintly buzzing from the mushroom's lingering effects, struggles to make sense of this sudden, violent exposure. The world around you feels both terrifyingly real and profoundly unreal. You try to pull away, but the grip on your arm is unyielding. The weight of their judgment descends upon you, heavy and suffocating. The secret rituals, the private quest for altered states of consciousness, become public transgressions. The spiritual dimension, so vital moments ago, is lost in their anger. This is the consequence of stepping outside accepted belief. This is the cost of seeking knowledge in forbidden ways. The human yearning for something beyond the ordinary is often met with suspicion, with a harsh, unyielding hand. It forces individuals to choose between quiet conformity and dangerous exploration, a choice that carries profound risk. The air in the alehouse is thick with the scent of warm yeast and spilled drink. Loud chatter and hearty laughter vibrate through the rough wooden walls. You push open the heavy door. The warmth inside envelops you. It contrasts sharply with the cold outside. You find a spot on a long, unpolished bark bench. Its surface is worn smooth from countless bodies. A serving wench places a heavy earthenware tankard before you. The ale within is dark, topped with a thick, creamy foam. Its aroma is earthy, sweet, a promise of comfort. This is the most common form of altering one's state in medieval times. Fermented beverages are everywhere. You lift the tankard. The cool ceramic feels solid in your hand. You take a long swallow. The ale is rich, malty, with a faint bitterness. A warmth spreads through your stomach. It moves outwards to your limbs. The harsh edges of your daily worries start to soften. The constant hum of concerns about harvest, taxes, and sickness begins to fade. You watch the faces around you. They are flushed with drink, eyes shining with merriment. Their gestures become broader, their laughter louder. People lean close, sharing tales. This is a communal forgetting, a shared release. The world outside these walls feels distant, less pressing. Here, in this haze of intoxication, burdens are temporarily lifted. The heavy tankard settles back onto the table with a soft thud. Your body feels heavier, your mind lighter. The din of voices washes over you, a comforting wave. You are part of this shared moment, this widespread pleasure. It is a simple way to find respite. It offers a brief escape from the harshness of life. This common, accepted indulgence reflects a deep human need for joy and temporary ease. It shows a powerful resilience in the face of constant struggle. The sweet, heavy scent of fermenting honey and grains hangs in the cool night air. The rhythmic stomp of many feet thumps against the packed earth. You push through the crowd, drawn by the pulsing energy of the harvest celebration. Bonfires crackle, sending sparks dancing towards the star-dusted sky. Their warmth touches your face, a welcome heat in the autumn evening. You clutch a rough-hewn wooden cup. It is filled with mead, golden and sparkling. This sweet drink, brewed from honey, is the reward for hard labor. It is a widespread pleasure. People raise their cups, their faces flushed with cheer. The drone of a pipe and the beat of a drum fill the space. They urge bodies to move, to forget. This is the common way to find release. This is how medieval people often experience a form of getting high. It is a shared, open experience, unlike secretive herbal uses. You drink the mead. Its sweetness coats your tongue, followed by a gentle warmth that spreads through your chest. Your limbs feel lighter. The sounds around you grow sharper, yet also blend into a joyful hum. You join the circle of dancers. Your feet pound the ground in time with the others. Sweat beads on your brow, mixing with the smoke and laughter. Hands link, bodies sway. A collective energy rises. Songs, familiar and ancient, surge from 100 throats. They are a chorus of relief and celebration. The mead works its magic. It washes away the aches of the day, the worries of tomorrow. It brings a feeling of lightheartedness, of connection. You are part of this human tide. You move as one with your community. This is a moment of shared ecstasy, a break from the relentless grind of medieval life. The boundaries between individuals blur in the wild dance. This seasonal high is more than just intoxication. It is a communal expression of joy, of survival. As the night wanes, the fire dims. The mead's effects begin to soften. The wild dance slows. A comfortable exhaustion settles in your bones. The songs become quieter. The laughter fades to contented murmurs. Your body feels heavy, pleasantly tired. You know the morning will bring a return to the fields, to the daily toil. Yet, for this night, you found a communal forgetting, a collective lightness. This human impulse to celebrate, to find pleasure, endures through time. It is a testament to the persistent human spirit, even when facing a reckoning with another day. The dry scent of wood smoke and heated earth fills your lungs. You duck through the low entrance of the felt tent, pushing aside the heavy flap. Warmth immediately embraces you, a soft cocoon against the biting wind whipping across the vast, empty steppe outside. The tent is small, dark, illuminated only by the faint, pulsing glow of embers in a central fire pit. Hot stones, gathered from the riverbed, radiate a steady, intense heat. Their smooth, dark surfaces shimmer. You feel the deep thrum of their warmth against the air. You settle onto a rough mat woven from reeds, joining a small circle of figures already present. Their faces, cloaked in shadow, are turned towards the elder. You feel their quiet, focused anticipation. He is a man of many winters, his skin tanned and weathered, his eyes holding ancient wisdom. His hands, gnarled and steady, hold a small, unadorned clay pot. Inside, dried hemp seeds, brittle and brown, rustle faintly as he sprinkles them onto the glowing, red-hot stones. A thin, fragrant plume of smoke immediately rises, swirling upwards. It carries the distinctive, earthy, slightly pungent aroma of the plant. This is an old practice, a ritual handed down through countless generations. Ancient peoples who roamed these very lands, like the Scythians and Dacians, inhaled these hemp seed vapors. They sought insight, vision, and connection. It is a tradition etched into the memory of this nomadic way of life. The smoke fills the confined space, growing denser. You take a slow, deliberate breath. The warm, slightly acrid smoke enters your lungs, bringing a strange tingling sensation. A subtle lightness begins to spread through your limbs, a loosening of the muscles you did not know were tense. The familiar contours of your body soften. Your vision begins to blur, the edges of the tent's felt walls seeming to waver. The faces around you, once distinct, now appear more like shifting forms in the dim light. The outside world, the endless, empty steppe, feels impossibly distant, a memory rather than a present reality. Only this tent, these glowing stones, and the rising, swirling smoke truly exist. The elder murmurs low sounds. They are not words you understand in your everyday tongue. They are guttural, resonant chants, ancient sounds that vibrate through the felt walls and into your very bones. You feel a deep, undeniable connection. It links you to those who sat in similar tents, under different skies, for centuries before you. Your body feels rooted to the earth, yet your mind floats free, unburdened by gravity or concern. The sense of time distorts, stretches, then compresses. Minutes feel like an eternity. Hours seem to vanish in an instant. The whistling sound of the wind, fierce and untamed outside the tent, seems to carry faint, distant voices. They are whispers. They are echoes from a long past. You sense the presence of ancestors, their spirits carried on the unseen currents of the air, drawn to this ancient ritual. This is a journey. It is a spiritual experience. It is a way to bridge the gap between the physical and the unseen, a moment of profound communion. It offers a sense of unity, a quiet awe, as the world feels vast and interconnected. This ancient use of plants for spiritual seeking shows a deep, enduring human desire for meaning, for connection beyond the immediate, reflecting a quiet and profound resilience in the heart of humanity. The sweet, spicy aroma of dried dates and exotic spices drifts through the bustling caravanserai. The murmur of many languages, the creak of camel saddles, and the distant calls of merchants blend into a vibrant hum. You stand at a crossroads of ancient routes, a meeting place for travelers from distant lands. The dust of countless journeys coats the ground. You watch a trader from the Nile lands. His eyes are dark, knowing. He gestures towards a small, ornate box. Inside rests a dark, sticky paste. Its scent is deep, earthy, distinct. This is hashish, known in medieval Egypt as shrub of emotion, or branches of bliss. It is a substance sought for recreation, for ritual, for a moment of quiet solace. People across Asia, the Middle East, and parts of Europe have known cannabis for millennia. Its use in this form traveled far. The trader offers you a small piece. It is a baked paste, blended with sesame and a hint of sugar. It is soft, pliable. You take it. The sticky warmth of it touches your fingers. This method of consumption, chewing, is common here. It is different from the inhaled vapors of the northern steppes, or the poultices of European healers. Cultures exchange more than goods along these routes. They exchange practices, knowledge, ways of altering perception. You lift the piece to your mouth. The initial taste is sweet, then a bitter, herbaceous undertone spreads across your tongue. You chew it slowly. The texture is dense, yielding. A subtle warmth begins to bloom in your stomach. It expands, spreading through your body, loosening your muscles. The sounds of the caravanserai, once sharp and distinct, begin to soften. They become a gentle, rhythmic background hum. Your vision seems to deepen. The colors of the merchants' cloths appear richer, more vibrant. The movements of people and animals acquire a slow, deliberate grace. A sense of peace settles over you, a quiet calm. The constant internal chatter of daily worries recedes. This feeling, a gentle euphoria, is the peace of mind the substance promises. It offers a temporary escape, a moment of profound internal quiet. You feel connected to the flow of movement around you. The caravans arrive and depart. They carry goods, ideas, and human experiences across vast distances. This shared human desire for altered states, for moments of pleasure, healing, or spiritual insight, travels with them. It moves with the traders, the pilgrims, the nomads. Your body feels light. Your mind floats, unburdened by the weight of time or place. This experience, tasted at a bustling crossroads, speaks of humanity's long, varied journey, and its persistent search for different ways to feel and understand the world. The rich, sweet scent of burning sandalwood and something subtly green fills the quiet chamber. You step onto polished stone, feeling the cool smoothness beneath your bare feet. The air is still, carrying only the faint rustle of silk robes from a figure kneeling at a low altar. Soft, diffused light filters through paper screens, painting the space in tranquil shades of gold and gray. This is a place of profound quiet, a sanctuary. You watch the elder priest. His movements are deliberate, precise. He prepares a small, ornate censer. Into it, he places finely ground resin, releasing its deep, fragrant aroma. Then, with careful hands, he mixes in dried cannabis leaves. This plant, known for millennia, has a long history in East Asia. Here, in Taoist practices, it blends with incense. It serves a specific, spiritual purpose. This ritual seeks a deeper connection, a pathway to inner states. The elder lights the mixture. A thin, fragrant stream of smoke rises, curling gently in the still air. Its scent is complex, earthy, slightly pungent beneath the sweetness of the resin. You breathe deeply, drawing the warm vapor into your lungs. The smoke is smooth, not harsh, leaving a lingering taste on your tongue. The first slow inhale begins your journey into the practice. Others in the chamber breathe with similar measured calm. A subtle lightness begins to spread through your chest. Your muscles, without your conscious command, relax. The weight of your body seems to lessen. The soft light of the chamber appears to deepen, colors becoming richer, shadows softer. The quiet sounds, a distant breeze, the gentle sigh of breath from those around you, become harmonious. They blend into a single, peaceful hum. Your thoughts, usually a restless river, begin to slow. They become like calm pools. The everyday worries, the small anxieties of the world outside, recede. They feel distant, unimportant. A sense of composure, deep and settling, descends upon you. This is the goal of such practices. It offers a path to inner stillness. It quiets the constant demands of the physical world. You feel a profound sense of peace. Your sense of time blurs, stretching out into an endless present moment. You are anchored in this space, in this deep calm. The cannabis, mixed with the sacred incense, aids this spiritual centering. It allows a temporary release from worldly attachments. This long, slow inhale connects you to centuries of Taoist seekers. It connects you to their quiet quest for understanding, for inner harmony. This enduring human search for peace, even through ancient, altered states, shows a quiet strength within us all. The dry, earthy smell of camel hair and sun-baked mud mixes with the sharp scent of exotic spices. A cacophony of voices, speaking a dozen different tongues, rises from the bustling market square. You stand amidst the swirl of merchants and travelers. The afternoon sun beats down, warming the dust beneath your worn boots. This is a vital stop along the Great Silk Road, a place where goods and ideas move across vast lands. A merchant, his face weathered from long journeys, catches your eye. He sits behind a low table, displaying small, carved boxes and intricately rolled papers. He holds a small, glazed pottery dish. It contains a dark, crumbly mixture. It is hashish, a form of cannabis. This plant has been known for millennia, used across Asia and the Middle East for pleasure, for medicine, for spiritual seeking. Its presence here is no accident. The substance, and the knowledge of its effects, travels with these caravans. The merchant sprinkles a small portion of the dark mixture into a tiny burner. He adds a pinch of fragrant resin, perhaps sandalwood or frankincense. He then ignites the blend. A thin plume of sweet, pungent smoke immediately rises. It is an aroma that carries the memory of distant temples and quiet rituals, like those of Taoist practices in China, where cannabis incense aided spiritual journeys. This blend, however, is a common offering here, shared across cultures. You lean closer, curious. The merchant gestures for you to inhale. You take a slow breath. The fragrant smoke is warm, smooth, filling your lungs with its distinct, earthy sweetness. It leaves a subtle taste on your tongue. The first hint of lightness begins to spread through your limbs, a gentle hum beneath your skin. The clamor of the market, the shouts and bartering, starts to recede. It transforms into a distant, rhythmic murmur. The faces around you, once a blur of different features, now appear more vivid. Their expressions seem clearer. A sense of calm descends, a quiet stillness in the heart of the bustling marketplace. Your thoughts slow. The ordinary worries of travel, of trade, of daily life, begin to drift away. This is a moment of profound internal peace, found through a substance carried across oceans of land. You feel a quiet connection to the countless others who have experienced this particular form of altered state. Their journeys, their beliefs, their desires all converged at places like this. Their experiences were shaped by geography, by social standing, by faith. Your mind expands, unburdened by the immediate. Your body feels light, at ease. This enduring human quest for different ways to feel, to perceive, shows a powerful common thread that weaves through all peoples, across all time. The air in the banquet chamber is heavy with the rich scent of roasted meats, sweet wine, and rare, perfumed oils. You sit on a cushioned stool at a long, polished table. Silver goblets gleam. Silk tapestries hang on the walls. They absorb some of the polite murmur of conversation. Laughter is present, but it is measured. This is a world of careful appearances. A servant approaches. He carries a silver platter. On it rest small, dark cakes, intricately spiced. They are dense, fragrant, unlike any ordinary sweetmeat. These are not merely for taste. They hold a quiet promise. Such concoctions, containing cannabis, offer a different kind of pleasure, a subtle escape known among certain circles. You take one. Its surface is slightly sticky, almost yielding to your touch. You bring the cake to your lips. The initial taste is sweet, a blend of honey and spices. Beneath that, an earthy, slightly resinous note unfolds. You chew slowly. The texture is firm, then soft. A subtle warmth begins to spread from your stomach. It moves outwards, a gentle current through your limbs. It is a different kind of warmth than that from wine. The careful hum of conversation around you starts to soften. It becomes a distant, pleasant drone. The ornate patterns on the tapestries appear more vivid. The flickering candlelight seems to dance with a heightened, almost magical intensity. Your thoughts, usually sharp and attentive to court intrigue, begin to drift. They become unhurried. The rigid posture you maintained, the watchful gaze, slowly softens. This is a quiet escape. It is a private pleasure, far removed from the boisterous communal intoxication of the alehouse. Here, the release is internal. It is a serene detachment from the demands of your noble status. The weight of your responsibilities, the subtle tensions of court life, recede. You observe the scene, but from a comfortable, unburdened distance. Your body feels light, your mind clear, yet profoundly at peace. This refined form of high offers a momentary reprieve. It shows how people, regardless of their social standing, sought ways to find comfort. It offered a brief solace from their realities. This subtle indulgence reflects a human desire for inner quiet. It speaks to a deep, enduring need for personal freedom, even for a short time, in a world of constant expectation. The soft brush of velvet curtains against your arm is a quiet caress. The air is thick with the scent of rosewater and costly spices, masking the faint tang of old stone. You sit in a secluded alcove of the castle's private chambers. The low hum of distant courtly chatter is muffled. Here, a different kind of quiet takes hold. A trusted companion, with a discreet movement, offers you a small, silver box. Inside, resting on a bed of silk, are tiny, dark pellets. They are firm to the touch, exuding a subtle, earthy fragrance. These are not common sweets. This prepared substance, perhaps a form of hashish or a similar cannabis mixture, offers a personal escape. It is a pleasure known to those in positions of power, a quiet solace away from the public eye. You take one pellet. Its surface is smooth, cool. You place it on your tongue. The taste is at first bitter, then a surprising sweetness emerges, mixed with notes of dried fruit and herbs. You let it dissolve slowly. A gentle warmth begins to spread through your mouth, then down into your throat. It is a slow, creeping sensation, different from the sharp bite of wine. The muted sounds of the court outside the alcove grow even softer. They become distant echoes. The ornate patterns woven into the velvet curtains seem to swirl and deepen. The faces of those few present with you appear to soften, their expressions more tranquil. Your own body feels lighter. The weight of your fine robes, the stiffness of your posture, all ease away. Your thoughts drift. The constant vigilance, the careful calculations of court politics, the whispers of ambition and betrayal, all recede. They feel far off. Your judgment becomes less sharp, more fluid. This is not a loss of control, but a willing surrender to a pleasant haze. It is a temporary release from the relentless demands of your station. This private intoxication offers a quiet solace. It provides a brief suspension of reality, a moment of unburdened freedom. You sit, observing the world with a new, softened perspective. This pursuit of altered states, even among the nobility, reveals a shared human need. It shows a persistent desire for respite, for a moment of peace, regardless of status or the burdens of power. The air is thick with the sharp scent of tar and damp rope, mixed with stale sweat and the tang of the open sea. You huddle in the cramped, low-ceilinged sailroom, the rough timbers groaning around you. The ship rolls and pitches, a constant, wearying motion. Salt spray sometimes forces its way through narrow cracks. The cold bites, a constant companion on this long voyage. A heavy wooden cup is pressed into your hand. It is rough, worn smooth by countless grips. Inside, a dark, cloudy liquid sloshes. This is ale, brewed strong. It is the most common comfort for sailors, a widespread source of warmth and temporary oblivion. You feel the communal anticipation, a shared longing for a brief escape from the harsh reality of the journey. This fermented drink offers a familiar path to intoxication, a widely accepted way to get high. You lift the cup. The ale smells earthy, yeasty, a hint of bitter hops cutting through the damp air. You take a deep gulp. The liquid is cold at first, then a burning warmth spreads through your throat. It settles in your stomach, a comforting fire against the cold. The taste is robust, slightly sweet from the malt, leaving a lingering bitterness on your tongue. A heavy drowsiness settles upon you. Your limbs feel less stiff, less cold. The constant creak and groan of the ship's timbers, once a jarring rhythm, softens. It becomes a distant, lulling hum. The lantern light, swaying with the ship's roll, casts longer, softer shadows. The faces of your shipmates, weathered and tired, seem to blur at the edges. Your thoughts slow. The anxieties of the journey, the endless stretch of open water, the ache in your muscles, all begin to recede. They feel less immediate. A quiet haze descends upon your mind. The rocking of the ship becomes less violent, more like a gentle cradle. You are still present, but distanced, cushioned from the relentless hardship. This bitter comfort, this shared moment of intoxication, offers a fleeting peace. It allows your mind a momentary respite from the demands of the sea. Your body feels heavy, yet at ease. This human quest for solace, for temporary release from pain and hardship, is a constant. It reflects a deep, enduring resilience in the face of an unforgiving world. The chill sea air stings your cheeks. It carries the sharp tang of salt, wet wood, and the lingering scent of fish. Beneath that, a heavy sweetness of exotic spices drifts from nearby docked ships. The port at night is a labyrinth of shadows and flickering lanterns. Rough voices rise from crowded taverns, mixing with the rhythmic creak of mooring ropes and the distant clang of a ship's bell. You move through the throngs of sailors, merchants, and dockworkers. They navigate muddy cobblestones. A figure, cloaked against the night, steps from a dark alleyway. He gestures with a subtle movement. He holds a small, tightly wrapped parcel. It is not something sold openly in the market stalls. This is a hidden commodity, a specific form of exchange. He unwraps the parcel. Inside, a dark, resinous paste gleams faintly in the dim light. Its aroma is earthy, sweet, distinct. This is a refined cannabis product, a potent form known in lands far to the east and south. It is called hashish in medieval Egypt, where it offered peace of mind and branches of bliss. It travels these trade routes, carried by those seeking a different kind of solace. You take a small piece. It is sticky, pliable, molding to your fingertips. You place it under your tongue. The initial taste is bitter, a concentrated earthiness. Then, a slow, sweet flavor emerges, like dried fruits and honey. You let it rest there. A subtle warmth begins to spread through your mouth. It moves downward, a gentle current through your body. The raucous laughter from a nearby tavern softens. It becomes a distant, pleasant echo. The swaying lanterns cast longer, more fluid shadows on the uneven walls. The rough movements of people around you seem to acquire a new, slow grace. Your own limbs feel lighter, the chill of the night less biting. Your mind begins to quiet. The endless sounds of the port, the constant anxieties of travel, the physical weariness of your journey, all recede. They feel far away. A profound sense of tranquility settles over you. This is a moment of personal escape. It offers a quiet comfort amidst the harsh realities of life. You feel a quiet connection to countless others who have sought this same temporary peace. Their reasons varied. Their methods and substances differed. This shared human desire for respite, for a moment of quiet detachment from the world's demands, remains constant. It shows a deep, enduring search for inner calm. The biting cold of the winter night grips you. Your breath plumes in white clouds. The scent of burning logs and damp earth fills your nostrils. You stand hunched by a crackling bonfire in the farmyard. The flames dance, casting flickering shadows against the rough barn walls. Around you, other villagers gather. Their faces are etched with the day's toil, their hands raw from the winter chill. The shared silence is thick with the weight of the season. A heavy earthenware mug is passed into your numb hand. Its warmth immediately seeps into your skin, a welcome relief. Inside, hot ale steams, its yeasty, malty aroma mixing with the smoke from the fire. This is a common comfort, a simple pleasure. It is a widespread way to find warmth and a brief escape from the relentless demands of medieval life. People have long relied on fermented drinks like this to alter their perceptions. You lift the mug to your lips. The ale is hot, almost scalding, then a rich, slightly bitter taste fills your mouth. It goes down smoothly, a burning current that spreads quickly through your chest and stomach. The raw ache in your fingers and toes begins to recede. Your body feels a new, spreading warmth. A heavy drowsiness settles upon you. The harsh edge of the cold night softens. The crackling of the bonfire, the low murmurs of conversation from those around you, all blend into a lulling hum. The dancing flames grow brighter, their light seeming to hold more depth. Your thoughts, usually filled with the worries of harvest and survival, slow. They become lighter. The burden of winter's weight begins to lift. The world feels less sharp, less demanding. You are still present, aware of the cold air on your face, the rough mug in your hand. Yet, a comfortable detachment spreads through you. The day's aches, the weariness in your bones, fade into a dull background. This is a temporary reprieve. It offers a fleeting moment of peace amidst hardship. This simple intoxication provides a deep sense of shared humanity. Your body feels heavy, yet at ease. It is a quiet testament to the enduring human need for solace. It shows a persistent drive to find moments of comfort and forgetfulness, even for a short while, in a harsh and unforgiving world. A sharp, throbbing ache pounds behind your eyes. Your mouth feels dry, tasting of stale ale and the smoky air from last night's revelry. The cold morning air bites, seeping through the thin walls of your dwelling. You push yourself upright. Your joints protest, stiff from a night of dancing and the unending toil of farm labor. The aftermath of communal intoxication is a dull, pervasive discomfort. Yesterday's ale provided a warm, fleeting escape. Today brings the heavy reality of your body's aches. Not just the headache from the drink, but the persistent pain in your back from lifting sacks of grain. The stiffness in your knees from hours in the damp earth. You need relief. Not another high, but a practical balm to allow you to face the day's tasks. You move to a small pouch hanging by the hearth. Inside, dried herbs rustle. Among them are small bundles of cannabis, harvested from the common hemp patch. Its medicinal uses are known. Classical healers like Pliny the Elder and Galen recorded its value. They described it treating arthritis, reducing inflammation. These effects are what you seek now. You take a handful of the dried cannabis leaves. You place them in a small pot with water. The fire crackles as you set the pot to boil. A pungent, earthy aroma rises with the steam. It is not the sweet smoke of recreation. This scent speaks of healing, of practical application. This is medicine, meant to soothe rather than intoxicate. You strain the dark liquid into a bowl. The warmth from the bowl spreads through your hands. You dip a clean linen cloth into the decoction. The cloth absorbs the warm liquid. You press it gently against your temples, then against your aching lower back. The warmth penetrates your skin. A slow, subtle easing of the pain begins. The throbbing in your head softens. The tightness in your muscles begins to release. This is not a sudden, dramatic shift. It is a gradual, welcome dulling of discomfort. You do not feel light-headed or distant. Instead, your senses remain grounded, your mind focused. The purpose is not pleasure, but functionality. Your body feels less burdened, more capable of movement. This practical use of herbs, passed down through generations, allows you to endure. It reflects a timeless need for relief, for resilience, for the simple ability to face another day. It shows the quiet strength of human adaptation against constant physical demands. The dry, earthy scent of aging parchment fills your nostrils. It mixes with the faint, metallic smell of lamp oil. You sit hunched over a heavy wooden desk. A single candle flickers, casting dancing shadows across the Latin script of ancient texts. The chill air of the monastic library settles around you. Silence is broken only by the scratch of your quill and the turning of thick pages. You pore over a passage from Pliny the Elder. He writes of cannabis, noting its uses for fiber. Then, your gaze moves to a text by Galen, the Greek physician. He describes seed cakes made from cannabis. He suggests they produce a warmth in the body. He mentions a mild psychoactive effect if consumed in large amounts. This knowledge, passed down from antiquity, sparks a quiet curiosity. It is a hint of a hidden experience, a potential insight into the body's subtle workings. You look at a small, unassuming cake on your table. It is dark, dense, made from ground hemp seeds and a little honey. This is a small, careful experiment. You prepare it yourself. Your hands move with a deliberate slowness. The smell is faintly nutty, a little sweet. It is a contrast to the scholarly air of the room. This is not for pleasure alone. It is for observation, for understanding. You pick up the cake. It feels firm, a little crumbly. You bring it to your lips. The taste is earthy, subtly bitter. Then a mellow sweetness spreads across your tongue. You chew slowly, deliberately. The texture is rough, then smooth. You swallow. A quiet warmth begins in your throat. It moves down, settling in your stomach. It is a gentle, spreading sensation. You continue reading, but the words on the page begin to soften. The sharp lines of the script seem to blur, then resolve into clearer forms. The flickering candlelight appears more vibrant. The dry scent of parchment seems richer, more layered. Your mind feels calm, untroubled. The usual concerns of your studies, the endless debates of theology, recede. They feel distant. A sense of mild detachment settles over you. Your body feels a quiet ease. This is a subtle shift. It is a slow, unhurried progression, not a sudden change. You are still a scholar, still seated at your desk. Yet, your perceptions are altered, softened. This deliberate ingestion, guided by ancient wisdom, offers a momentary insight into how the body and mind intertwine. It is a quiet moment of personal exploration. It highlights the human desire to understand sensations, to find comfort, and to seek knowledge even through unconventional means. The damp, earthy scent of gathered roots and drying herbs fills the air. You sit on a low stool in a small, windowless room, a single tallow candle casting dancing shadows. Outside, the sounds of village life are muted. Here, a different kind of knowledge unfolds. Your fingers work with practiced care, crushing dried cannabis leaves in a rough mortar. The plant's familiar, pungent aroma rises. It is a scent of healing, of old remedies. You recall the words from ancient scrolls, copied diligently in a scholar's hand. Pliny the Elder wrote of cannabis primarily for its fiber, mentioning its use against arthritis. Galen described seed cakes. He noted they created warmth and mild psychoactive effects if consumed in large amounts. These texts, authoritative and distant, speak of the plant's properties with careful, measured terms. They acknowledge effects, but often with a scholar's detachment. Yet, your hands know a different truth. They hold the physical plant, remember its texture, its growth. You know the whispers of your grandmother. She spoke of its potency, not just for a mild warmth, but for deep pain, for sleep when sorrow kept it away. This knowledge comes not from ink, but from the raw experience of flesh. You add water to the crushed leaves, making a thick paste. The mixture is coarse, green. You feel its coolness against your skin. You remember the old ways, the direct application. You spread the paste onto a clean linen cloth. The cloth is rough, simple. This is not for elaborate rituals. It is for practical relief. You press the poultice against your aching knee. It is a familiar pain, one that gnaws after long hours working the fields. The initial coldness of the paste gives way to a gradual, pervasive warmth. It seeps into your skin, deeper into the muscle and bone. The sharp edges of the pain begin to soften. They do not vanish, but recede. A gentle dullness spreads through your leg. Your body feels heavier, grounded. The candle flame seems to hold a quiet, steady glow. Your thoughts, usually restless with chores and worries, quiet. This is not the heady rush of ale, nor the distant feeling of a scholar's warmth. It is a profound, physical easing. Your body finds a quiet repose. The wisdom from ancient texts offers guidance. Yet, the true comfort, the lived experience of relief, comes from the direct application of humble plants. It shows the enduring strength of human observation. It speaks to the practical search for solace in a world of constant physical demands. The air in the kitchen is warm, thick with the sweet scent of roasted sesame and dark honey. A faint, earthy green aroma rises from the ingredients. The stone walls hold the heat from the hearth. Your hands move with practiced ease. This is not just cooking. It is a precise ritual, a careful blending of nature's gifts. On the worn wooden table, a mound of dark, resinous plant matter sits. This is cannabis, processed and potent. It comes from distant lands, a special preparation. You sprinkle fine sugar over it, a glint of white against the dark paste. Next, toasted sesame seeds, golden and fragrant, are added. Their warmth still lingers from the pan. You know that in medieval Egypt, this preparation, called hashish, was famed. It was known by names like shrub of emotion, peace of mind, and branches of bliss. Your fingers press, fold, and knead the mixture. It is sticky, yielding beneath your touch. The textures combine: granular sugar, oily sesame, the dense plant material. You work the mass, feeling it warm under your palms. This specific blend is for chewing, for a slow release. You take a small portion of the rich, dark paste. You roll it between your palms, forming a neat, round pill. Each movement is deliberate. This small creation holds a promise. It holds the potential for altered perception. It is a tradition passed down through centuries, a quiet practice often debated, sometimes forbidden, yet enduring. You lift one of the finished pills to your mouth. The outer layer is sweet, slightly crunchy with sesame seeds. Then, the rich, earthy taste of the cannabis paste fills your tongue. You chew slowly, letting the flavors mingle. A gentle warmth begins, subtle at first, deep in your mouth. It spreads to your throat, then throughout your body. The light from the hearth seems to soften. The sounds of the busy household fade into a pleasant hum. Your muscles begin to relax. Your thoughts, usually a tangled web of daily chores, untwine. They become clearer, less urgent. This carefully prepared paste offers a quiet journey. Your body feels anew, spreading tranquility. This sticky ritual, this blending of simple ingredients into a potent compound, brings a profound shift. It reflects a deep human desire for solace, for a moment of quiet introspection. It shows the enduring search for specific comfort, for personal peace, in a demanding world. The rich, sweet taste of sesame and sugar lingers on your tongue. Beneath it, a deep, earthy warmth unfolds. You hold a small, dense piece of paste. Your fingertips still feel the subtle stickiness from its careful preparation. Around you, the chamber is quiet. Only the low hiss of the hearth fire breaks the stillness. Soft, flickering light dances across the faces of those who sit nearby. Their eyes meet yours with a calm, understanding gaze. This moment is for sharing, for a quiet journey inward, together. You place the paste on your tongue. You chew slowly. The outer crunch of toasted sesame yields to a soft, yielding interior. The sweetness gives way to a complex, herbaceous flavor. You swallow. A subtle warmth starts in your throat. It moves down, a gentle current through your chest. Your muscles, tight from the day's work, begin to soften. The sounds of the night outside the thick walls fade. They become a distant, muffled echo. The crackling fire seems to gain a deeper, more resonant sound. Your perceptions sharpen, yet simultaneously soften at the edges. The patterns in the woven rugs, the shadows cast by the pottery on the shelf, all seem to hold new detail. Time itself stretches. It slows, becoming more fluid. A deep sense of peace settles over you. This is the shrub of emotion, the peace of mind, spoken of in older tales from lands to the south. The weight of daily worries, the constant demands of medieval life, loosen their grip. They float away, like smoke rising from the chimney. Your thoughts drift, unhurried, untroubled. You look at the others. Their expressions are serene. A silent communion passes between you. There is no need for words. A profound sense of shared tranquility envelops the room. Your eyes feel wide, taking in the soft contours of faces, the steady glow of the fire, with a new, quiet appreciation. The air itself feels soft, supportive. Your body feels lighter, yet deeply grounded. This shared ingestion, this deliberate pause from the world, fosters a connection. It offers a collective respite. It shows the enduring human desire for calm, for moments of quiet joy, and for temporary escape from the constant press of life. It is a testament to how people found ways to alter their perceptions, seeking comfort and connection in simple, ancient preparations. The air in this inner chamber smells of dried herbs, spiced roots, and old parchment. Dust motes dance in the narrow beam of light from a high window. You stand in the apothecary's guild hall, a place of hushed secrets and guarded knowledge. Around you, wooden shelves hold glass vials and clay jars. Each contains a carefully labeled substance. This is where documented recipes meet ancient traditions. Your fingers trace the faded ink on a heavy parchment scroll. It details a specific preparation, listing ingredients with meticulous care. You see references to classical authors. Pliny the Elder wrote of certain plants for healing. Galen described how some seeds could induce a warming effect, even mild altered states, if consumed in large amounts. Here, these ancient observations are the foundation of a precise craft. You watch an older apothecary. His hands are deft. He grinds dried cannabis into a fine powder. The pungent aroma is sharp, distinct. This is not the rough hemp from the fields. This is a special harvest, reserved for specific preparations. The apothecary mixes the powder with other herbs, with binders like honey or beeswax. He forms small, uniform pills. These are not for common ailments. They are for deeper pains, for inducing restful sleep, or for easing the passage of fevers. He does not speak of visions or ecstasy. He speaks of measurable effects, of humors balanced, of pain relieved. Yet, you know the whispered tales. You know the potency of certain fungi gathered from damp woods, of other herbs kept in locked chests. The apothecary's knowledge blends practical medicine with an awareness of the mind's delicate balance. These substances are powerful. They demand respect. You feel the weight of this specialized knowledge. It is a responsibility. The crafted remedies offer comfort. They offer temporary escapes from suffering. They hold the balance between careful healing and the subtle art of altering sensation. This craft, honed over centuries, embodies humanity's enduring quest for solace. It shows the drive to understand the world's hidden properties, all through quiet observation and careful handiwork. The damp chill of the night seeps into your cloak. It wraps around you as you stand in the narrow, shadowed alley. The air smells of refuse, wet stone, and something else, a faint exotic spice. You press closer to the rough brick wall. Your heart beats a steady rhythm against your ribs. The city guard patrols the main thoroughfares. Here, in the quiet corners, different transactions unfold. A figure emerges from the deeper shadows. Their face is obscured by a cowl. They move with unpracticed quickness, a silent glide. Your hand clutches the small pouch at your waist. It holds the coins for this exchange. This substance, hashish, travels a long path. It comes from markets far to the east, from lands where it is called shrub of emotion, or branches of bliss. Here, it carries risk, a silent commodity in a world of rules. The figure stops before you. No words are spoken. Their hand extends. You see a small, dark bundle wrapped in oiled cloth. The scent, stronger now, is sweet and earthy. You recognize it. This is the hashish, processed cannabis. In some societies, its use is debated, even forbidden. Here, it finds its way through underground networks, through people like you who seek its unique effects. You take the bundle. Your fingers feel the dense, slightly sticky texture through the cloth. You pass the pouch to the figure. The coins clink softly inside. Their hand closes quickly around it. The exchange is swift, silent. No lingering, no unnecessary movement. The figure melts back into the darkness. You turn, pressing the small bundle close to your body. You walk with a careful haste. The alley's shadows become your allies. The sounds of the city's distant life seem sharper, more immediate. Your senses feel heightened. A quiet tension hums in your veins. You have acquired something precious, something sought after, yet kept hidden. The texture of the wrapped paste presses against your palm. The faint aroma clings to your skin. You feel the weight of this small, illicit treasure. It represents a different kind of economy, one that flourishes despite prohibitions. It reflects a human desire for experience, for escape, for altered perception, that flows through time, finding its way despite obstacles. The riotous clang of bells and the deep thrum of drums pound in your chest. You move with the surging crowd. The air is thick with the smell of roasting meat, spilled ale, and human sweat. Masks, grotesque and beautiful, flash past your eyes. Figures dance with abandon, their movements wild, unrestrained. This is the carnival. Here, the rules loosen. You hold a heavy wooden mug. The warm, malty taste of ale coats your tongue. It is a familiar comfort, a widespread pleasure. You drink deeply. The alcohol brings a flush to your cheeks, a loosening in your limbs. This is the common path to altered senses. People laugh louder. They sing off-key. They shed the burdens of everyday life in a haze of fermented grain. But you seek a different kind of release. Earlier, in a shadowed corner, a hushed exchange took place. Now, in your hand, a small, dried mushroom cap rests. Its surface is rough, earthy. It carries the faint scent of damp forest floor. These mushrooms are known in folk traditions. They are used in quiet rituals. Their powers are whispered about, sometimes feared, sometimes revered. They are linked to old stories, to visions, even to accusations of witchcraft. Yet, here, in the heart of the carnival, it feels like a different kind of permission. You lift the cap to your mouth. You chew it slowly. The taste is distinctly fungal, a deep earthiness, followed by a slight bitterness. You swallow. It is a raw, natural flavor. A slow, creeping sensation begins in your stomach. It is a gentle warmth, different from the immediate rush of ale. It spreads, subtle at first, then more pervasive. The carnival lights, once a sharp, scattered collection, begin to bleed into one another. They form shimmering halos. The drumbeats resonate not just in your ears, but deep within your bones. The masked faces around you seem to distort, then reform, shifting with the rhythm of the music. Laughter becomes a wave of sound, washing over you, pulling you into its joyous current. Your body feels light, almost detached, yet deeply connected to the vibrant chaos surrounding you. The usual boundaries of yourself seem to soften. You are part of the swirling mass, a single current in the river of celebration. This feeling, a profound letting go, feels right here. It feels permitted. You join the dance, your movements more fluid, less conscious. This brief, potent escape offers a moment of complete surrender. It highlights the enduring human desire to transcend the ordinary. It shows the varied ways people find altered states, seeking release and ecstasy in moments of communal festivity. The cold morning air bites your exposed skin. It carries the lingering scent of stale ale, damp ashes, and burnt wood. The vibrant drumbeats and joyful shouts of yesterday's carnival are gone. Only the scraping of brooms on cobblestones fills the silence. You walk slowly through the town square. The festive banners, once bright, hang limp and rain-soaked. Remnants of discarded masks lie scattered. The sheer abandon has vanished. Your head aches with a dull throb. Your body feels heavy, sluggish. The memory of the mushroom's earthy taste, the gentle disorientation it brought, still lingers. Yesterday, the shared sense of collective freedom felt boundless. Today, a different, heavier mood descends upon the town. People move with a careful, solemn quietness. Their eyes avoid direct contact. A palpable tension, like a shroud, hangs in the chilled morning air. At the center of the square, a magistrate stands on a makeshift platform. His voice booms, cutting through the morning stillness. He speaks of excess, of uncontrolled behavior. He speaks of the moral decay brought by revelry. His words are sharp, condemnatory. They target those who indulged too freely in drink, those who gave themselves over to base desires. He mentions the hidden practices, the use of unknown herbs and substances. The very idea of altered perception, especially from anything beyond approved ale, is framed as a threat to order, to pious living. You feel a prickle of unease, a tightening in your stomach. The joyful chaos you embraced yesterday now seems risky, even dangerous. The communal elation has given way to individual scrutiny. You recall the hushed whispers of your neighbors. Tales of those accused of secret folk traditions, of those linked to strange concoctions. Such practices often drew suspicion. They were linked to accusations of superstition or witchcraft. The simple act of seeking altered states, whether through strong fermented drinks or the mysterious fungi of the forest, carries a much graver weight in this sober light. The magistrate's severe gaze sweeps across the faces in the small gathering crowd. His words about discipline, about the proper order of society, demand absolute attention. He details the need for sobriety, for clear minds, for adherence to church teachings. You lower your head slightly, merging with the cautious crowd. You avoid his direct, piercing stare. The vivid, fleeting joy of yesterday's escape feels distant now. It is replaced by the heavy hand of societal expectation. Your body still carries the subtle echoes of the carnival's abandon. Yet, the atmosphere demands composure. It demands adherence to established rules. This morning reveals the stark contrast. It shows the tension between human desires for fleeting freedom and the societal need for rigid control. It highlights the constant push and pull between individual pleasure and the communal demand for order and moral uprightness. People seek altered states for many reasons: pleasure, healing, magic, or spiritual ecstasy. Yet, society often reacts with debate and prohibition. This mixed social attitude to intoxication shapes experiences then, as it shapes experiences today. The biting cold of the pre-dawn air stings your raw skin. The scent of pine smoke from the small fire mixes with the metallic tang of dried blood. A low groan from a nearby comrade cuts through the silence. You sit hunched, clutching your arm. The wound throbs with a constant, fiery ache. The bottle's roar still echoes in your ears. Your fingers tremble slightly as you unwrap a small, crude cloth packet. Inside, dried leaves and seeds of the hemp plant rest. This plant grows in many lands. It provides strong fiber, yet you know its other, quieter uses. In older tales, from distant, ancient peoples, people inhaled its vapors. They found calm, a quiet shift in their senses. Now, you seek that same respite. You push a few small pieces of bark closer to the ember. A faint glow appears. Carefully, you sprinkle some of the dried plant material onto the hot surface. A thin plume of smoke begins to rise. It is earthy, green, and carries a surprisingly sweet undertone. You lean forward, cupping your hands. You draw the warm vapor close to your face. You inhale deeply. The smoke fills your lungs. It tastes bitter, resinous, yet not unpleasant. You hold your breath, then release it slowly. A deep warmth spreads through your chest. It moves down your arm, reaching the throbbing wound. The sharp, persistent edge of pain begins to soften. It does not vanish, but it becomes more distant, a duller echo. Your muscles, tensed for so long, start to relax. The rigid lines of your shoulders ease. The chill in the air seems less severe. The low sounds of the sleeping camp, the rustling of cloaks, the distant whinny of a horse, all take on a softer quality. Your mind, usually racing with vigilance and fear, quiets. A wave of peaceful detachment washes over you. You lean back against the rough tree trunk. The dim light of the fire dances on your face. This simple plant, this quiet smoke, offers a temporary shield. It provides a brief, welcome peace from the brutality of war. It shows the enduring human need for solace, for a moment of gentle calm, even amidst the most profound suffering. It is a testament to resilience, a small act of defiance against overwhelming pain. The cold ground bites through your thin blanket. You shiver, your teeth chattering. The scent of blood, unwashed bodies, and crude poultices fills the air. Groans echo from nearby pallets. Your leg throbs with a relentless, fiery ache. The wound is raw, clumsily bandaged. Sleep is a distant, unreachable comfort. A cloaked figure approaches your pallet. Their hand is rough, but gentle. They carry a small, wooden cup. The liquid inside is dark, thick. A bitter, earthy aroma rises from it. This is a draught, concocted from potent herbs known to the healers. It is meant to dull the sharp edges of your suffering. It promises a brief, fragile peace. You lift the cup. The rim is cool against your lips. You drink it down in a single, desperate gulp. The taste is profoundly unpleasant. It is acrid, medicinal, leaving a lingering bitterness on your tongue. Your stomach clenches for a moment, then settles. You lie back, waiting. The throbbing pain in your leg persists, a cruel, steady beat. Slowly, subtly, a warmth begins to spread. It starts in your stomach, then moves outward, through your chest, down your limbs. Your shivering lessens. Your muscles, tense with pain and cold, begin to soften. The sharp agony in your leg does not vanish. It recedes. It becomes a distant echo, muffled, muted. The world around you seems to blur at the edges. The sounds of the field hospital, the coughs, the low moans, the rustle of straw, all fade. They become less distinct, less urgent. Your eyelids grow heavy. Your thoughts, once frantic with discomfort and fear, slow. They drift. A profound weariness settles over your body, a deep, pulling weight. This is not sleep, not yet. It is a slow, gentle descent into a state of quiet detachment. You feel a profound sense of relief. It is a temporary reprieve, a borrowed moment of calm. The world recedes. Your own body, racked with pain, seems distant. This draught, a carefully prepared blend of ancient knowledge and desperate necessity, offers a pause. It is a testament to humanity's enduring struggle against suffering. It shows the resourceful ways people sought comfort and altered their perceptions, finding fragile solace even in the direst of circumstances. The air around you is thick with the sweet steam of simmering roots and dried herbs. The fire in the hearth casts dancing shadows on the rough-hewn walls. Your body aches. A dull, persistent pain radiates through your lower back. You breathe slowly, deeply, as the midwife instructed. Her presence is a quiet strength beside you. She kneels, stirring a dark liquid in a small clay pot over the embers. The scent of cannabis, subtle yet distinct, rises from the mixture. She uses this herb often, in poultices for inflammation, in decoctions for pain. Though rarely spoken of in grand medical texts, its soothing properties are known deeply within these women's circles. Classical authors, like Galen, even described seed cakes that brought warmth and a mild shift in senses when consumed in quantity. Here, this ancient wisdom lives in practiced hands. She lifts the pot, pouring a small amount into a wooden cup. The liquid is warm, dark, and earthy. You take it, your fingers wrapping around the smooth wood. You drink. The taste is bitter, woody, a profound earthiness that spreads through your mouth. You feel its warmth as it travels down your throat, settling in your stomach. A slow, creeping sensation begins. It is not sudden, like wine. It is a gentle unfurling. The sharp edge of your pain begins to soften. It recedes, like a distant tide. Your muscles, tense and knotted, gradually release their grip. Your breath deepens, becoming slower, more even. The flickering firelight seems to shimmer with a softer glow. Your mind, once focused intensely on the discomfort, finds a quiet space. The world around you feels more distant, less demanding. A calm settles over you, a deep, pervasive peace that smooths the rough edges of your discomfort. It is a relief that permeates your very bones. You feel a gentle loosening, a sense of quiet detachment from your physical struggle. You close your eyes. The warmth from the hearth, the subtle aroma, and the quiet comfort of the midwife's presence surround you. This simple remedy, this careful blend of nature's bounty, offers a profound pause from suffering. It embodies the quiet knowledge passed down through generations of women. It speaks to humanity's persistent search for comfort, for moments of peace, even in the face of relentless physical pain. The warmth of the small, hidden room wraps around you. It pushes back the raw dampness of the evening. The air carries the faint, sweet smell of smoldering embers and something else, earthy and herbaceous. You settle onto a worn stool. The day's heavy burdens still press on your shoulders, a dull ache in your bones. Around you, other women gather. Their faces are etched with familiar weariness. Here, in this quiet space, away from watchful eyes, a different kind of solace is found. One woman, her hands calloused from years of labor, holds a small, crudely formed cake. It is a mixture of ground seeds and dried herbs, sweetened with a touch of honey. Cannabis, cultivated and used for generations in many lands, finds its purpose here. For some, it is medicine. For others, a quiet escape. She breaks off a piece. She passes it to you. Her eyes hold a knowing, shared understanding. You take the small, dense piece. Its texture is firm, slightly sticky. You lift it to your mouth. The taste is distinctly herbal, an earthy bitterness mingling with the honey's sweetness. You chew slowly. The flavors blend, coating your tongue. You swallow. A gentle warmth begins to spread through your stomach. It is a subtle invitation, a slow release. The sharp tension in your muscles begins to soften. Your jaw, clenched tight, relaxes. The incessant chatter of your thoughts starts to quiet. The rough feel of your worn gown against your skin, once irritating, now feels simply present. The flickering lamplight in the small room seems to cast longer, softer shadows. The low murmurs of the women around you become a comforting hum, a collective breath. Your body feels lighter. A sense of peace, a quiet detachment, washes over you. The day's worries, the endless chores, the constant pressures recede. They do not vanish, but they become distant, less urgent. You feel a gentle ease, a subtle shift in your perception of the moment. This shared experience, this quiet intoxication, creates a fragile bond. It fosters a momentary unity, a respite from the harsh world outside. You lean back. The warmth from the hearth, the earthy aroma, the comforting presence of these women, envelop you. This shared ritual, this quiet act of seeking relief, speaks volumes. It shows the deep human need for moments of calm, for connection, for a brief escape from relentless hardship. It reflects a quiet resilience, a way of enduring and finding solace in simple, potent remedies, passed from hand to hand, generation to generation. The air in the marketplace at dusk is thick with the scent of spices, sweat, and roasting lamb. Shadows lengthen, blurring the edges of the stalls. The din of hawkers fades to a low hum. You move through the dwindling crowd. Your eyes scan for a specific kind of vendor. You seek something known by whispers, not shouted advertisements. A cloaked figure meets your gaze. A subtle nod. You follow into a narrow passage behind a spice stall. The air here grows cooler. A small, wrapped parcel exchanges hands. You feel the soft, dense texture through the cloth. It is a baked paste, dark and fragrant with sesame. The price is whispered, a quick negotiation. Then you move back into the fading light of the market. Later, in the quiet of your room, you unwrap the paste. Its earthy, sweet aroma fills your senses. This is hashish, known in these lands as shrub of emotion, or branches of bliss. It has been consumed here for centuries in various forms. You break off a small piece. You place it on your tongue. The taste is rich, deep, a mixture of herbal notes and sweet sesame. You chew slowly, letting it dissolve. A subtle warmth spreads from your stomach. It is a slow, gentle tide. Your limbs feel lighter. The day's tensions, the haggling, the crowds, all recede. The world outside your window seems softened, muted. A profound peace settles over you. This is the peace of mind you sought. This feeling, a quiet euphoria, is both sought and sometimes debated. In these Arab societies, cannabis is widely used for many purposes, from ritual to pleasure. Yet, debate surrounds it. Some religious circles prohibit its use. Others, like certain Islamic mystical orders, incorporate hashish into their spiritual practices. Your experience feels personal, a delicate balance between public stricture and private solace. This quiet act of consumption, this personal journey into altered perception, speaks to an ancient human impulse. It shows the varied experiences of people finding comfort, contemplation, or simply a moment of serene detachment, against the backdrop of changing social attitudes and customs. The air in the bustling khan is thick with the scent of roasted coffee beans, dried figs, and something unfamiliar, subtly sweet. Sunlight streams through arched windows, illuminating dust motes that dance in the air. You watch a merchant, his face weathered by desert winds, carefully unwrap a small, dark parcel. His movements are precise, almost reverent. He holds a dark, pliable paste. It glistens faintly in the light. The aroma reaches you, a blend of rich dates, toasted sesame, and a deep, herbaceous note. This is a special confection. It is a recipe carried across seas and sands, passed from hand to hand, from distant lands to this very place. He speaks of its origins in medieval Egypt. He tells you how it was known by names like shrub of emotion, a whisper of its power. He calls it peace of mind, a promise of calm. He explains how this hashish is mixed with sugar and sesame, then baked into a paste. This makes it easy to carry. It has traveled here on the backs of camels, hidden in merchants' bales. It is a silent secret carried along the ancient trade routes. Its journey reflects the long history of cannabis. It was used for millennia across the Middle East, Europe, and Asia, for ritual, for healing, for simple recreation. You take a small piece he offers. It is dense, slightly sticky. You bring it to your mouth. The first taste is sweet, almost fruity, from the dates and sugar. Then, the rich, nutty flavor of sesame emerges. Finally, an earthy, profound bitterness, the essence of the cannabis itself, settles on your tongue. You chew slowly. The paste melts in your mouth, coating your senses. You swallow, feeling its warmth travel down your throat, settling deep within your belly. A slow, subtle change begins. It is not sudden, not jarring. The sounds of the khan, the distant calls of vendors, the gentle lowing of animals, become softer. Their edges blur. The constant tension in your shoulders, a companion for so long, eases its grip. Your thoughts, usually racing, begin to slow. They stretch out, becoming longer, more fluid. A sense of quiet contentment spreads through your limbs. There is a gentle weightlessness in your hands and feet. You feel a profound tranquility. The branches of bliss feel like a gentle current, lifting you from the everyday. This state of altered consciousness, achieved through a blend of ingredients from varied cultures, is a quiet testament. It shows the human desire for altered states of being, for pleasure, for healing, for a glimpse of inner peace. It highlights the vast, unseen network of trade that carried not only goods, but also traditions and remedies. It connected lives across continents and centuries. This simple paste embodies a journey, a shared history of seeking solace and sensation. It offers a moment of profound, cross-cultural stillness. You sit, enveloped in the subtle shift, a quiet traveler on an ancient path. The biting cold of the church stone seeps into your boots. The scent of old incense and damp wood hangs heavy in the air. You stand with the crowd, pressed close, your breath misting. The priest's voice, raw and resonant, booms from the pulpit. It echoes through the nave, reaching you at the doors. His words are sharp, full of righteous anger. He speaks of sin. He speaks of temptations that lead souls astray. His gaze sweeps over the congregation. It seems to pierce each person. The flickering light from the tall candles trembles, casting shifting shadows that make the stone saints seem to frown. A collective shudder passes through the people around you. Fear is a palpable thing. You can almost smell it, a sharp, metallic tang in the air, mixing with the musty incense. His voice rises, condemning those who seek solace outside of prayer. He thunders against unholy concoctions and dark brews. He speaks of potions that twist the mind. You recall whispers of secret gatherings, of strange mushrooms used in old folk rituals. You remember tales of monks in their cloisters, experimenting with unusual herbs. These practices, once perhaps seen as harmless or even sacred in certain traditions, now face a fierce, public condemnation. He shouts about substances that cloud judgment. He warns against anything that distorts the clear path to God. His words paint a vivid image of damnation for those who seek altered states. He does not name specific plants or preparations. He does not need to. The implication is clear. Any deviation from accepted spiritual practice, any attempt to induce visions or altered perception through means other than fasting or fervent prayer, is dangerous. It is an invitation for darker forces. You feel the tension in the crowd. People shift uneasily. Some cross themselves. Others cast nervous glances. You feel the weight of this judgment. The simple human desire for relief, for a moment of quiet escape, now feels like a transgression. The world outside these walls, where people seek pleasure, healing, or even spiritual connection through various substances, is sharply contrasted with this rigid doctrine. The condemnation's voice lingers in the cold air. The candles continue to tremble. The fear settles deep within the crowd. This sermon lays bare the conflict. It shows the struggle between individual needs and societal control, between quiet traditions and public decree. It speaks to the enduring human search for solace and meaning, even as powerful voices seek to define what is permissible and what is forbidden. The damp, cool air of the hidden alcove presses against your skin. You draw your cloak tighter. The world outside, filled with thundering sermons and judging eyes, feels distant, silenced by the thick stone walls. A single, small candle flickers, its light barely chasing the shadows from the rough-hewn stone. You are alone here. This place is your sanctuary, a quiet defiance against the clamor of the world. From a small, carefully wrapped pouch, you extract a few dried pieces of mushroom. Their caps are brown, their stems brittle. These are not for sustenance. These are for introspection. In the old folk traditions, before the warnings and accusations of witchcraft, these fungi held a different purpose. They were keys to altered states, to visions, to a different way of seeing. Even in monasteries, some monks quietly explored such herbs, seeking spiritual awakenings. You do not seek evil. You seek peace. You carefully place the dried pieces into a small wooden bowl. You add a little water from your flask. You chew them slowly. The taste is earthy, bitter, a profound taste of the forest floor. You swallow. Your stomach clenches for a moment, then settles. You sit, still, your gaze fixed on the dancing flame of the candle. You wait. The silence of the alcove wraps around you, a heavy blanket. A subtle warmth begins to spread through your limbs. It is not heat from a fire. It is an inner warmth, gentle and pervasive. The chill of the stone recedes. The faint sounds of the night, a distant owl, the rustle of leaves, seem to sharpen. They become clearer, more distinct. Your senses open. The world around you feels more vibrant. The shadow dancing on the wall takes on new forms, fluid and changing. Your thoughts begin to shift. They detach from the worries of the day, from the heavy words of condemnation. They become expansive, drifting. A sense of profound calm washes over you. This is a personal journey, a quiet refusal to let external judgments dictate your inner world. This is a space where your perception changes, where you find a different kind of truth. The world feels interconnected, flowing. You breathe deeply. The candle flame glows, a small beacon in the darkness. This private act, this moment of chosen intoxication, is a testament to human resilience. It shows the quiet strength of individual choice, even when facing absolute rule. It speaks to the enduring search for meaning, for a personal connection, in ways that transcend public decree. You find solace in the silence, in the subtle shift of your own consciousness. The cool, filtered air of the modern room brushes your skin. It carries a clean, processed herbal scent. It is far different from the smoky haze of ancient fires. You stand before gleaming glass cases. Bright lights illuminate precise packages. Each small, sleek container holds a promise. This is a dispensary, a place of carefully cultivated relief. It feels worlds away from the shadowed alcoves or bustling khans of long ago. Yet, the human desire it serves feels deeply familiar, an echo across centuries. You select a small vial of oil. Its packaging is smooth, cool to your touch. The label describes its properties: calm, focus, relief from daily strain. You recall ancient texts, mentioning cannabis for arthritis, for warmth. Medieval Egyptian nicknames like shrub of emotion and peace of mind surface in your mind. This product, refined and measured, connects to a lineage of human seeking. Later, in the quiet of your own space, you dispense a few drops under your tongue. The taste is subtly botanical, a clean, verdant flavor, followed by a light sweetness. You swallow. There is no immediate jolt. It is a slow, gradual unfurling, a gentle current beneath the surface. You sit, still, allowing the effects to gather. A quiet warmth spreads through your body. The persistent hum of worries in your mind begins to soften. Your muscles, tight from the day's demands, release their grip. The ambient sounds around you seem to recede, becoming less insistent. A profound tranquility settles in your chest, a lightness in your limbs. This feeling, this gentle shift in perception, is a quiet respite. The world outside feels less sharp, less pressing. Your thoughts flow more freely, unburdened. It is a moment of peaceful detachment. The centuries fall away. The method changes, the packaging transforms, but the fundamental craving remains. The yearning for ease, for calm, for a momentary escape from pain or anxiety. This human impulse, this continuity of seeking solace, manifests in new forms, yet remains deeply rooted in ancient needs. You sit, steeped in the quiet calm, a connection forged through time. The quiet hum of the night surrounds you. A lingering warmth settles in your chest. The subtle taste of the herbal oil fades from your tongue. You lean back, closing your eyes. The day's events, the modern dispensary, the ancient narratives, swirl in your mind. You feel the weight of time, the vast span of centuries that separates you from those medieval lives. Yet, you also feel a profound connection. You think of the Scythians, inhaling hemp seed vapors. You remember Taoist priests in China, mixing cannabis with incense for spiritual journeys. You picture medieval Egyptian women chewing hashish pastes for peace of mind. You see European monks experimenting with herbs in quiet cloisters. Each sought something similar. They searched for a shift, a softening of harsh reality, a gateway to a different state of being. Their reasons varied. Some sought pleasure. Others aimed for healing, using cannabis for pain and inflammation. Some pursued spiritual ecstasy, a deeper connection to their faith. Others simply wanted a temporary escape from hardship, from the relentless demands of daily life. The substances changed, the cultures differed, the societal attitudes, from acceptance to stern condemnation, shifted with geography and religion. Yet, the core human impulse endured. This continuous thread binds you to them. You recognize the shared human need for solace. You understand the desire for altered perception. You know the craving for a moment of quiet peace. Whether through fermented mead, carefully blended hashish, or potent mushrooms, people sought to experience life differently. They found ways to cope, to connect, to simply feel. The distance of history shrinks. You feel a kinship with those who lived so long ago. Their struggles, their joys, their quest for altered states, mirror aspects of your own existence. This shared humanity, across all its varied expressions, creates understanding. It fosters a quiet empathy for those who sought what you might seek. You open your eyes. The night is still. The faint glow of a distant light enters your room. You feel a deep connection to human experience, timeless and constant. The pain, the resilience, the quiet seeking, all resonate. You recognize these threads within yourself. You carry these lessons forward, a quiet testament to enduring human need.